I could make some comments.
Let me walk to the back while I'm talking. Well, it's loud enough once everyone's quiet. Okay, good. Yeah, because Vince, you back there? No, there's no Vince. Okay. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Derek Maribon from Ingenix Digital Marketing, and this is LA2M. We got a big turnout today, even in the snowstorm. You notice they didn't fill some of the table rows because they thought with the snow that people wouldn't come out. But I'll tell you, when Ann Arbor.com and Matt Kraner speak, you know, people listen. So I think a lot of people came out today. Who's first timers? Any first timers out there? First timers? Great. Who's here from Ann Arbor.com?
That's why there's so many people here, right?
Yeah, you brought the peeps. Okay. Okay, very exciting. I'm excited. All right. Hey, so this is Lunch and Arbor Marketing. This is my brief intro, which I'm stumbling through. And we're a nonprofit organization. In case you didn't know that, we're a 501c3 nonprofit focused on marketing. So every week we bring in marketing speakers. And today is kind of marketing. It's more about digital publishing, but it's very important for the community. We try and be relevant so that people come. And as you can see, people show up. So thank you for being here. Roger Rail records these, and they're broadcast live right now. So LA2M.org/live. We have people watching. How many people are watching right now, Roger? 2. Okay. 2.
And they're both at AnnArbor.com.
There would be more, but all the AnnArbor.com people are here.
Okay. All right. I don't know if that's picking up our fans in Iceland. We have a big fan base in Iceland which likes to watch our speeches. Yeah. So, okay, good. So the format here, for all you newcomers, is our speaker talks for approximately 30 minutes. We will have time for Q&A, and I think there might be some really good questions out there. Because it's been a while since we've talked to AnnArbor.com. Tony Deering came when it was first starting, and that was, again, very well attended. And now that you guys have been in business for a year or so, it's really interesting to see kind of the state of the nation, which we're going to hear. And then we all do introductions. So you will get to stand up and say who you are, what your company is, and if there's anything we can do to help you. There's a lot of people here that might be looking for things. I know Susan Harris right there is a technical writer. She told me she's looking for technical writing work, right? There she is. See in the green? Yeah, so you can all just talk about what you're looking for, and then we always finish at 1. And we do have a LinkedIn and a Facebook group, so anyone who's not a member, just join. We'll accept you, no problem. And Tiffany's here because Tiffany's from Ingenix, but Stacy, our treasurer, is absent. So at LA2M, we're old school. We pass the hat. And that's how we pay our bills. That's how we keep the lights on at this fine establishment. It's kind of a joke. But, you know, that is how we pay our bills. We are a completely volunteer organization. Speaking of that, we need volunteers. Anybody interested? Because we have a handful of people that are doing a lot of work. So if you really want to get involved, I saw, oh, look at this, The smart couple from the front row, the Hustlebirds, yes, look at that. So but if you want to volunteer, it's a good way to get some exposure for you, especially if you want to be more involved in the community. So come help us, we'll help you. It's mutually beneficial. Okay, that's enough. So Tiffany's going to pass the basket. We have a suggested $3 donation. You're welcome to give more. Or you don't have to give any at all. You know, you're allowed to come here for free. We support that. Again, another joke. I'm a deadhead from way back, but the term means, right, like you don't have to pay. So you don't have to pay if you don't want to. All right, let's get on to our real speaker here. So we have a guy who's he runs things over at AnnArbor.com. And I had the pleasure of meeting him a month or so ago, and I'm like, you got to come speak. And he was just so gracious to come speak. So Matt Kraner signed on board, and he's speaking here today, and I think all of you want to hear what he's got to say. So let's give him a big round of applause, and I will turn up the mic, depending on how your volume is. Thanks. Okay. Matt Kraner, folks, big applause.
Can everybody, hello, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Are we okay for the two folks that are on the
Sweetener
line?
for my coffee. I asked her a while ago.
Okay, well, again, I'm Matt Kraner. I'm president and CEO of AnnArbor.com. Thanks, everybody, for coming today. A couple of things. I've been sternly given direction that we must be done by 1 o'clock because that's when the Brady Hope press conference starts. So we'll adjourn next door and watch and see what the new Michigan football coach has to say for himself. But again, we have a lot to cover today. We really appreciate the opportunity to come and share really what's going on with AnnArbor.com. It's been about a year and a half since we've launched, and while it's been very promising, I think we have a lot of great information to share with you today. I think the theme that we want everybody here to leave with is lots has been accomplished. A lot of positive things have been accomplished. When I look around the room, frankly, there are many of you in this room that we have partnerships with who have helped us accomplish many of our objectives in this last year and a half. But there's still a lot for us to do as we go forward, and we're very excited about that. We have a lot of new initiatives slated for the first quarter of 2011. So, am I getting? Is this okay on the sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, fine. Then it's on. So let's jump into the presentation. Again, as I just said a second ago, we've had a very promising beginning. We'll get into a lot of detail today with regard to exactly what our audience is looking like, with all the metrics of which how we look at our business and how we measure success, and how we also measure opportunities that we're not taking advantage of, and frankly things that we need to improve that we've already started and put on the website. We're very optimistic about our future, but like I said, we still have a lot to accomplish. To start with, relative to market size, one of the things that we were very encouraged by is about a year ago, a third-party firm that measures websites nationally for news organizations came. It's called Media Audit. Many of you may be familiar with them. Came in and measured AnnArbor.com in our primary market, primarily Washington County, obviously. And after just a few brief months of existence, we again launched really. It was at the very end of July of 2009, but basically our first full month was August of 2009. They were in the marketplace measuring our reach and our relevancy in the marketplace, and really November through January of last year, virtually a year ago today. And we came out in combination with InLive, because we put a lot of content up on InLive, and it links back out to us, as the #1 news website in the country with regard to reach in its local marketplace. And that was after just a few months of existence, so we're very pleased with those results. On the print side, which once again, we are a 7-day online model, and I'll get into that in a minute because that really philosophically changes our business model and how we approach particularly content creation. But on the circulation side, which is still very important, we still have a Thursday and Sunday newspaper. They're an important part of our business model. When we first launched, as anticipated, we anticipated some initial circulation decline and then a stabilization. Well, that has occurred. And in fact, when you look at us in comparison to other peer newspapers across the country, the decline that we initially experienced back a little over a year ago really it was a little bit more than the industry average, but not much. Since then, we are actually outperformed most of our peer newspapers and industry as a whole, and since April, we're actually up a little bit in circulation, which again really goes against all the trends that you see really across the entire country. So we're we feel very, very good about that. Our monthly unique visitors, and I would not caution us, but I would just want to make abundantly clear that these statistics change rapidly, and with the kind of growth that we're seeing on our website, these statistics in itself are already very much dated. In particular, the adult reach at 69% adult reach in Washington County, we feel is a very dated statistic that we receive from Media Audit. But again, monthly unique visitors, about 1.6 million. Daily unique visitors on average about 53,000. But to put that in perspective, yesterday with the Brady Hoke announcement, we had 102,000 unique visitors to AnnArbor.com. That's a big number. And that's not the first time that we've eclipsed 100,000 unique visitors in a given day. So that's the kind of growth that we're seeing on our website. Monthly page views, 4.7. That's really kind of an average. Again, we've broken 5 million page views very recently, as of last October. The 69% reach in the marketplace, again, that's tied to the Media Audit study I referred to a moment ago. And that was from a year ago. And I'll share with you in a moment the growth that we've seen in the last year on unique visitors and page views and that type of thing. So I think we can hopefully draw the conclusion that 69% reach in the next Media Audit study will be far greater. And to kind of put that into context or compare that, obviously, we are replacing a more traditional news organization and news model, which was the Ann Arbor News, which is a 7-day print product. Their last study in the marketplace said that as a 7-day newspaper, they created about 65% reach in Washtenaw County. That's after 174 years on a 7-day print model. Within less than 6 months, our 7-day online model, 2-day print model was creating more reach at 69%. And again, that's based on the audience that we were creating on Arbor.com a year ago, not today. Let's talk about the growth that we have seen. A year ago when that study was conducted and we created the 69% reach, we were at about 38,000, on average, about 38,000 unique daily visitors. And now that varies depending on the day of the week. Monday through Friday, we see more uniques than we do on Saturday and Sunday typically, unless it's a football Saturday. But on average, we're doing about 38,000. That was a year ago. Today, we're at 53,000. Tremendous growth in that 1 year period of time. Monthly page views, last year, about 3.8 million. This year, 4.7 on average. But in October, we were at 5.4 million page views. So again, we're just continually seeing constant growth on the online side of our business and stability on the print side of our business. Just some other key metrics. The other thing that we do, and I think with a fair amount of discipline, is we go into the marketplace and we conduct our own awareness studies that really kind of go across the entire gambit of not only are you aware of AnnArbor.com, what's your opinion of AnnArbor.com, but also getting very specifically the type of coverage that we create, the type of value that we provide our advertisers, the type of content that we provide from a marketing and advertising perspective to make sure that we are really in tune with what the marketplace wants and needs so that we can address that with regard to the design and the content we have on our site. The last really study we did was last summer. We're getting ready to come on and do another one later in the first quarter of this year. But last summer, 91% of the core audience, core market, had a total brand awareness on Kraner.com. 37% of the market on a given day was visiting our website. That's a big number when you think about market penetration and with regard to the ability for relevancy on content and news coverage, as well as the value that we can create for our advertisers. And 70% of those who have visited our website are really satisfied by it. Again, a very good number when you look at it and you benchmark that versus other news websites. The core print product, again, has again, very steady. The satisfaction increased 53% in October when we did our first study, to 71% in June. So again, we thought we were very encouraged by those results. Other perceptions, in less than 1 year, 50% of the marketplace, and again, this goes back to last summer, agree that Arbor.com is a very important part of the community. And this is really starting from zero. I mean, nobody really knew what to expect of our website. Frankly, we would be probably a little naive to think that people were upset the fact that the 7-day newspaper went away, so there'd be resistance to our acceptance. Again, that's a pretty strong number when you compare that to other news websites as well as 7-day newspapers. If you look at, go back and look at most research studies on newspapers, that's a good number. 56% agree the site reflects values and the pulse of the community, and 63% agree the site has a relevant advertising and deals from the local community, which is very important. That's a really important part of when you're creating content and you're making a connection with the community and you're creating value for your users. Relevant marketing messages is incredibly important in combination with the news. The other thing that we found as we've launched and we moved along, our anticipation was, particularly as crazy about sports this community is, that sports would be the single dominant content element on our website. And the reason we thought that is A, like I said a moment ago, this is a sports crazy community. But B, when you look at most newspaper websites around the country, sports is the dominant traffic driver in most every market. And so that was kind of the anticipation we had when we came and started AnnArbor.com. What we've been so pleased with is that, in fact, even with the news, clearly with the news that we're seeing with the coaching change here in the last week or so, traffic's been huge on the sports side. But if you look on our year-and-a-half history, local news has been our dominant traffic driver and dominant traffic creator. Not that sports isn't important, not that other elements of the website aren't important, like the homepage, entertainment, but news has been the single greatest traffic driver. And that's very encouraging from our perspective, because I think that speaks to our relevancy in the marketplace, and it speaks to the fact that people will want to come back to the website on a more frequent basis and use it as its primary news source for local news coverage, which is our franchise. When we designed AnnArbor.com, we try to really we really approach it differently than most news websites. The river of content is central in that design, and it gets back to the local news coverage. Constantly updating local news, constantly putting up news stories on the website, so that when you go to it in the morning and you come back to it later in the day and you come back to it in the evening, there's always new fresh content on that site. We think is central to really our franchise. And so the river of content behind the design of the site itself we thought was unique, but also we think is working. Engagement strategies that we've conducted we've initiated, I should say, over the last year. Restaurants, automobile platform, real estate platform, regional coverage. So when we launched, we're very much focused on the Ann Arbor, marketplace itself. But obviously, if we're going to be truly reflective of Washtenaw County, we needed to do a better job than what we did at launch with Ypsilanti, Saline, Dexter, and Chelsea. And so we've launched new areas on the website that are specifically focused on those communities. Polls, we're putting up lots of polls on our site to try to get people's opinion on a variety of issues, and we've really seen a tremendous amount of interaction on that. We'll put up a poll, and it's not uncommon for us to get 1,500 responses on a poll, which when you think about the size of our marketplace, that's significant. Deals, our initial really concept on creating value for our marketing partners was through the deals concept when we initially launched. We've certainly expanded that and added a lot of new opportunities on our website since then. But the basic tenet of what we want to do is put our users, we want to create not only a large audience, but an audience that comes back with a fair amount of frequency. And we want to put our users on our marketing partners' website. It's not necessarily where we want to create value that we're going to keep them trapped on our website and just bring out page views all day long and go back and charge our marketing partners for that and hope that there's maybe a click-through off of that ad. We also think it's very important for us to do our best job as we possibly can to put our users, when they come to the website, when they want to find out more information about our marketing partners, and be on their website, make it as user-friendly as possible to get there. Breaking news, we obviously sent out a breaking news alert yesterday when Brady was announced. We try to use this sparingly so that people know when they receive that from us, it is indeed a significant story. But we found when we do put it out, our open rates are very good on those announcements. We certainly do a variety of newsletters, which isn't mentioned here, but really kind of goes in with the breaking news. We have about 25,000 people that subscribe to our morning newsletter, about a similar amount that gets our 3 in the afternoon. We also do newsletters for obits, for deals on a weekly basis, for business review. What am I forgetting, David? Yeah, I said obits, yeah.
It's actually on the next one.
Oh, is it? Okay, never mind. So, and then obviously we put up our election platform that really comprehensively, I think, really drilled down and gave good bios and all of the candidates, and gave the candidates an opportunity to put their positions on our website. And then obviously just when Obama came for the commencement, we did some new and different coverage with that we've since utilized kind of from a format perspective on a lot of new additional coverage as we move forward. Newsletters, I was just speaking to a moment ago. Obviously, that's been a big part of our business up to this point in time. It will continue to be so as we move forward. We see a real opportunity here as well to have a more collaborative effort with other businesses around the marketplace, to potentially work with them to send out messages to their clients as well that we can help them with, and also to our users in combination that can really create a lot of value that doesn't really exist in the marketplace as we move forward. Typically, our daily headlines newsletter gets about a 30% open rate. Industry average is about half that, is that correct? About 16% is usually the industry average for an open rate, so again, we're very pleased with that. And then the click-through rate is 58%. I don't know if we have an industry average so much for that, but when we see from other news websites, it's usually in the low 40s. Right around 40% is usually the open rate. So again, outperforming what we've kind of seen as from a peer performance standpoint. Social media obviously is hugely important for all of our businesses, clearly for ours. Again, when I spoke a moment ago about how we thought it was very important to from a philosophical standpoint, and creating value for our marketing partners to push our or to connect our users with your websites. We also are big believers in aggregating content and pushing our content out. And again, not making it just so it only exists on AnnArbor.com. We really think that's the right direction to go. Not put up paywalls, not force people to only come to our website. We think really a broad distribution of our content and being as creative as we possibly can and giving our marketing partners a broad distribution of a message through our website onto other websites is really the way to go. Offline engagement, for those of you, again, who've been to our actual physical location, we're located, we're down here at 301 Liberty, corner of 5th and Liberty. We're on the 7th floor is really where the majority of our operation is. But we have a first floor space, which is open to the community. And we felt that was very important when we talked about connecting to the community. And we utilize the space for open houses. We invite organizations to come in and use our space. We have a conference room there. We have a space there with coffee that people can come in and sit down. We have Wi-Fi. We really want people to come in and connect with us. I think traditional news organizations tend to build a moat around their operation, and they break off that connection with the community. It's very important as we evolve as an organization to have that connection so we can understand what people's needs are and frankly respond to them in a far more timely fashion, in a friendly fashion, frankly, than what you see from a typical news organization. We do summer concert series, we do panel discussions there, we have book classes or reading groups that get together, we do brown bag educational lunches, we do political candidate debates there. When the election was occurring, that was very exciting. We have radio stations that come in and do live remotes from there. Lucianne does a lot of her shows from our space. And again, also we felt it was really important because we have a vast network of really, people in the community that contribute content on our site. We wanted them to have a space to come to that they felt welcome, that they could really do the work with and be able to connect with our organization. So again, for any of you that you think you have a need or you're looking for a space to utilize, you have some meetings or you want to hold some sort of public interaction of any sort, and you're looking for a space, feel free to contact us. That's really what this space is for, and we like to really work with you as best we possibly can to kind of bring the community together with your business as well. The print edition, again, very important to our overall model. I think, without getting into too much of the detail, most newspapers have struggled with really trying to understand the relationship between the print product and their online website. And some of that's out of fear, some of that's out of really trying to figure out how to create content, put up both on the website, the print model, how do you address that? What it will, if we're too aggressive on the online side, what potentially would that do to our print circulation? Well, obviously we increase the web, and that's when we talk about AnnArbor.com, we are an internet-first company, both in how we create content and how we create value for our marketing partners. But it's not to say that it has to be either or, that print needs to go away. Print is still a very viable part of our model. It'll be a viable, important part of society for the foreseeable future. So I think, as I shared a moment ago, we've been very encouraged what we've seen on the print side from a circulation standpoint. And I think what we're learning, it's still very early in the process. I want to sit here and claim that we have this figured out by any stretch of the imagination. But what we've seen initially is that if you put out a quality print product, you can be as aggressive as you want to be on the online side, and people still have a desire to want to receive a print product in the marketplace. We've seen that with our circulation, we've seen that with our awareness studies, and print will be here for, like I said, the foreseeable future. So we want to put out a very high quality product, and when appropriate, we want to put out content that's an additive that you don't get on our website. Obviously, we're very focused on the local community, so things like our World Nation section, things about sports from outside the University of Michigan and our media community and EMU, we're going to certainly have in our print product, and there are other things that we include in our print product that you really don't get on a day-to-day basis on our website. The changing habits of our audience. Immediacy is vital. I mean, you just see that in all of our businesses, and that's just the world today. The web is really a great platform for us to provide that immediacy. Again, as I mentioned a moment ago, we want to emphasize the-aggregation of our content and really and helping our marketing partners get their message out as broadly as possible across the web. We understand the importance of mobile devices. That's why we're so aggressively, first and foremost, going after and doing different things with newsletters. You're probably not going to see an AnnArbor.com app for the iPad anytime soon because, we think our website looks very good on the iPad as it is today. And secondly, I think that whole segment of the online sector is going to change dramatically. And frankly, that's kind of bigger than us, I think, to some degree. Our focus on really creating as much audience, coming up with new content models, and coming up and creating as much value as we possibly can for our local marketing partners. Spending a lot of time on creating an app for an iPad really doesn't meet any of those objectives in the short term. So we'll keep an eye on it. We may do something with it as we move forward, but it's not a high priority of ours for right now. That said, we think newsletters, we think the design of our overall website itself and the design of the newsletters, if we keep always in mind how those look on mobile devices and what the user experience is in regard to that, that's more relevant, that's more important, at least at this point in time in kind of our history or where we are continuing. Audience wants conversation. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. We're very excited. We're going to be updating and upgrading, I should really say, our content or our commenting tool on our site, and really just creating a network of people in the community that can share content on our site was central to our overall mission when we launched as well. We have a traditional newsroom, much like the News did, much like any other newspaper does have. But what we did was we changed our business model. Newsrooms, not only at the News, but across the country, have lots of staffing for people to do lots of copy editing, lots of design of the printed product. They have a lot of really fixed expense with regard to putting out the printed product on a daily basis that really doesn't generate any more news. So when we redesigned our organization and we came out, we thought it was very important to still have what I would call, news pressure on the street, feet on the street, people out there reporting the news in the traditional fashion, adhering to traditional journalistic rules in our news organization. And so, our editorial staff today, when the News sunsetted, had 66 employees. But frankly, of those 66, 35 were reporters in the marketplace. We have 37 people in our news operation. They're all creating content. They're all out in the marketplace. We have a few copy editors, let me stand corrected there. The vast majority of them are creating content in the marketplace and serving that reporting role. Because we embrace the web first, we are able to put up lots more content than waiting and doing a traditional publishing cycle, where a newspaper would look at it and go, okay, we have so much news hole, we're going to create so much news for the next day. And then they would reflect that on their website because they didn't want to beat their printed product to breaking news unless it was something that was a huge story. We're just the opposite. We're going to put content up all day long, and then we'll put what we think is the best of that content into our printed product for those who want to consume news through the printed product. Because of that, we produce a heck of a lot more news about Washtenaw County. And here's just some examples of it. The Ann Arbor News in September of 2008 created 274 news articles, 139 sports articles. When we just launched, we were doing 302 and 237. Today, we're doing 400, well, this was actually April last spring, we're actually now creating more content, but so this is a little dated. But last spring, we were creating 436 news articles and 212 sports articles versus what the news was doing, 274 and 139. So when we talk about, being a local watchdog, creating local content that's news, that's really, that's keeping an eye on the community, that's holding politicians to task, reporting crime, all the things that a traditional news organization does, we're producing a heck of a lot more than this model than the old traditional newspaper model. That said, we also saw a tremendous opportunity for us to reach out to the community and create contributors in the community on non-news content that we can put on our website and in our printed product. Lifestyle type content, food and drink, entertainment, that type of, not hard news, but stuff that frankly the community should be involved with and can frankly probably create even more fresh content on our site or in our printed product than us just having the same reporter go out and cover that beat time and time again when it isn't hard news in the first place. And so our blogger network has been created, our preferred contributors, and we probably, since our launch, there's probably been about 200 people that have contributed on our site or have agreed to contribute on our site. In reality, probably consistently we get about 50, 60 people that really, on a consistent basis, put content on our site. But again, that's 50 or 60 people that really didn't have that opportunity in the old model. And it really not only increases kind of our reach into the marketplace, but it changes and the dynamic from a share of mind perspective. It gets different opinions into our product than just the same old newsroom creating the same old content day after day after day where it becomes predictable. And oftentimes can become very, they put the blinders on and they just have one frame of mind on a particular issue and that's it. I think it's very important when you really are trying to connect with the local community. The advertising model, again, as I spoke to earlier, we're trying to create opportunities, not only for mass reach, as most traditional websites, this is how many pages we have, they're going to be exposed to so many people on our website, but then we'll really try to figure out new and creative ways, as I said before, to connect our users with your business, whether that's your website, or whether that's getting people across your threshold into your own business itself. So again, you've seen deals, you've seen things like our new, or not new, it's not so new now, but our restaurant platform, our real estate platform. There's a lot of different things that we put up on our website that we think first and foremost, not only reflect the Ann Arbor community and the greater community, because that's important to them, but also creates new ways for those advertisers in those particular categories to more effectively advertise and reach the local community. Let's kind of talk about some of the new initiatives too, just real quickly here that we have launched very recently. The Real Deal. This is something that we started really the week of Thanksgiving, and basically we're just highlighting a deal of the day where enough people participate, which is dictated by the advertiser, Then a deal will, what we call tip, and everybody can participate in and take advantage of that particular offer on our site in a given day. And every day is a different deal. We've had tremendous success. And again, this is something that we can do for the local retailers. That we send through a variety of distribution channels out into the marketplace. It's not only on our website, on our homepage or article page, that type of thing, but we ship it out through our newsletters, put it on our Facebook page, we use Twitter, we use a variety of different ways to get that message out to the community. And obviously, because of the nature of how we've structured our business, it's all local businesses. It's very relevant to our users. Bivouac, we just ran their special on the site. They've been our top producer with regard to the amount of people that actually have signed up and want to take advantage of an offer. But imagine this, you put a special up on our website and you get 346 people that agree they want to participate in that deal, and they're going to come to your store in order to seal the deal, I guess, really, to be able to take advantage of it. And then more often or not, probably purchase something else while they're in your store. So it's been a very good success, and we really see an opportunity to kind of build that out and do a variety of different deals as we move forward in a number of different categories. Ask a Local Expert was just launched. We're doing it in crime, pets, parenting, health. And what else am I forgetting? Gyms or anyone I'm forgetting? Okay. Is that it? Okay, so again, this gives an opportunity for local experts to be able to share their knowledge on our website and be able to answer questions from our users in real-time fashion. So again, something that we think not only creates value for our marketing partners, but really is a good value for our users. Next generation homepage, you've seen us for the just this last week, we launched a new homepage. The most significant change there was on the topic boxes. I don't know if you're going to see this, but I invite you to go to our website. but we felt it was important to kind of start the initial phase of personalization of our website on our homepage. We're not there yet, but this is kind of the first step in that process. So the boxes that we've created cover news, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. And we're going to start aggregating more content into those boxes from other news sources or other just content sources. And before long, probably within the next 6 months or so, there'll be an ability for you to be able to identify the things that interest you the most outside of our own news gathering operation and our own content, so you can put it up on your own homepage. So we're very excited about that, and kind of think that's kind of the next generation. Commenting. We'll be launching our new commenting system. Fingers crossed, everything goes as expected next week. Obviously, we have a lot of commenters on our site. We have a lot of people who registered on our site. We think that's a very important part of the connection that we make with the community. But it's imperfect. So we want to continue to evolve that experience on our site for not only people who comment all the time or the occasional commenter, but just for those people who like to read our site and don't comment at all, but like to read the comments. So some of the new features that we'll be launching will be, it will enable people to sort all their comments, to be able to vote on the comments that they like or they don't like. That's significant. We will rank them and prioritize them by the votes, so the most popular to least popular. If there's a commenter on the site that you just don't like, we'll enable you to hide that commenter so you never have to see him. So we're pretty excited about this. And again, this is kind of one of the things we will be seeing that next week on our site if all goes as expected. Best of, again, people are very proud about many things in our community, rightfully so. Who's got the best burger? Who's got this? Who's got the best grocery store? All that type of thing. We're going to create an opportunity for people on our site moving forward, really starting in February, for people to express that opinion. We put it up on the site, a list of different businesses by category, and our users can vote on it, and our users can comment on it. And we'll also enable this will be a great opportunity for our users also to connect with those various businesses too directly, and linking back off to their websites. So the Best of initiative we're very excited about and will be, I think, a real big component of our website after we launch it in February. Additional upcoming initiatives, I mentioned polls earlier. We get lots of responses to our polls. We are going to continue to evolve our polls so that they are very, very, they're going to have a significant presence on our site, I guess is the best way to put it moving forward. Both from our news operation, but also we think because of the results that we've seen from the polls in our own news operation, we're going to create the opportunity for local businesses to be able to ask questions of our users as well. They'll be clearly delineated. There'll be, a poll from Connor O'Neill, do you like my turkey Reuben or not, or something like that. But they will be able to, our users, our audience, will be able to interact with the local businesses and tell them what they like or don't like so much about whatever product or service that they're offering. Again, that's a connection that's pretty rare, and we think is pretty important and I think will be very exciting with the kind of value we create for our local marketing partnership, our marketing partners. Weather, we're going to be really redesigning the weather page. We have a great partnership with Weather Underground, a local business that many of you may be aware of. But we think there's more we can do with weather as we move forward. And games. I was almost hesitant to mention this because this is a big and significant undertaking, but we would like to really work with somebody locally to create a game that's very focused on Ann Arbor, very Ann Arbor centric, that people can come to our website and enjoy. And we think that's, again, something that can create a lot of value, but also create a lot of fun and engagement on our website. So again, we'll be teeing that up and probably be trying to accomplish that probably the next 6 months or so. So, let me go backwards. Anyway, just to kind of wrap things up, it's been a challenging year and a half. As I look around the room here, like I said in one of my opening comments, there are a lot of people in this room, frankly, that have been very, very important to our, to the success that we have been able to, I guess, realize and enjoy in the first year and a half of our existence. I look around the room and I see a lot of our employees. I was kind of like half joking, the room's so full because of the news from AnnArbor.com. But when we launched, we said, we're out buying for the community. And really, besides coming up with a new content creation model, besides coming up with a new design of the website, really kind of coming up with a whole new philosophy on how we're going to create content, how we're going to create value for our advertisers. We understood from day one that unless we really connected well with the community and we really created value for the community in a much different way, we were not going to succeed. And so, we've had, I think we could suggest, and we certainly feel that we've had a lot of initial success. We also know that we've only been in existence a year and a half. That's nothing. And the art of the possibility of what we can accomplish, I don't know if we really even fully understand. But what we are all about is not only what we've created to this point in time, what we have on the drawing board for the next 3 months or 6 months, but more importantly, staying connected with the community, staying connected with local business owners in particular, and really figuring out what can we do next to really create more value, create more audience, and create more value for all local businesses. So I want to just kind of look around the room and recognize a number of our folks. Derek, obviously, we have a relationship with, and much appreciate the work that he and the folks in Gen X do for us. Ross, a lot of the stuff that you see on our website is coming from 3.7 Design. Ross, he's almost like an employee. He's there so often. So really appreciate all that he's done for us. I think I mentioned Weather Underground. We do lots of work with folks just next door and upstairs, the optimization group, Parrish, a local marketing advertising firm. Clearly, we have a very close relationship with them. I'm probably forget a lot of the folks locally that we work with, SRT. Look at the front table here, Larry Eiler and Eiler Communications. He probably about killed me a number of times as we were launching the company. But when you think about all of what we had to go through to transition from the news to AnnArbor.com, he was very, very helpful on so many different fronts. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody as I look around the room here, but that connection to the community it's one thing to say we're creating an audience. It's another thing to say that we're creating value for local marketing partners. But being connected to the local business community is hugely important. And our door is always open, and always, please feel free to give us feedback, because we're imperfect, and we know that we've got a lot to, there's a lot of opportunity for us to improve, and the only way we do that is if we get great feedback from the business community itself. So, thanks so much.
Thank you, Matt. That was a great talk. And so we don't have time for questions, but I think we can post comments on AnnArbor.com. You'll get voted up or down on your question. Thanks, Vince. You can turn that on. Vince is here now, so he's adjusting. Thanks, Vince. So we're going to go around the room, and we have 15 minutes, and everyone please introduce yourself. And yeah, and then we'll finish up. Here's Ross to kick us off.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ross Johnson. I do a lot of things, but one of the things I do is I help run a WordPress group. So if anybody's interested in learning more about WordPress or uses WordPress, check us out at WordPress.AnnArbor.com, and our next event is January 26th.
I am David Martell, Marketing Director at AnnArbor.com. Glad that you could all make it today. Seriously, take what Matt said seriously, and contact us anytime you have feedback. Personally, David Martell at AnnArbor.com. Please feel free to reach out.
Hi everyone, Kevin Curry, Director of Sales with AnnArbor.com, and I guess I don't necessarily need to tell you, Matt just summed it up, but if you need help with your business, helping reach this community, give me a call, shoot me an email, all my contact info is on the site, or catch me after this meeting. Thank you.
I'm Kim Morrison with O&W. We are a local family beer distributor, so we bring you all your
Where is
all
it?
your filler products.
We have a keen interest in doing more business with you.
Yeah, I know. I need Jennifer.
I'm Jennifer Steinberg. I'm an account exec at AnnArbor.com.
Hi, I'm Brian Miskiner from 2020 Communications. We provide wireless, terrestrial, business and residential data and voice solutions. Ian Gaska, starting a new business, marketing to independent, locally owned small businesses. We're providing services in social media and mobile website creation and other interesting marketing things that I'm going to think up. And my website is not yet designed. I do need a mobile device aware marketing website. And the domain, however, is mylocalanarbor.com.
Hi, I'm James Gordon from United Way.
Hi, I'm Jane Delancey, Delancey Design, and basically we provide design services for marketing needs.
Hi, I'm Jean Lieberman. I'm going to plug two things today. Personalized Productions. We focus on tools for project management. If anybody here is struggling with their project management and want to get more out of it, cost management, things like that. And we're doing an online class this Saturday in the morning, so you can do it from whatever coffee shop or wherever you might be. Microsoft Project Tips and Tricks. The other thing is I play in a band, Stolen Moments, and we're playing this Friday night at Portage Yacht Club, and you don't have to be a member to come and participate, and people seem to like this. We play a lot of covers that people can dance to and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Olds. I'm with Boulevard Financial. We help you with securing the financial future of your business, you and your family, through life insurance, health insurance, annuities, disability, and also employee benefits.
I'm Cliff Sheldon with Ann Arbor State Bank, and you can see our ads on AnnArbor.com.
Rich Austin with Sandler Training. We help entrepreneurs and business owners in town with their sales efforts,
Also, if you're interested, I can teach you how to eat lunch at LA2M off your lap and really get one stain on your shirt.
I'm Jeremy Little with Superior HR Solutions. I help companies anywhere from 15 to 100 people stay compliant, help them with performance issues with their employees, hiring, staffing issues, help keep them, I'd like to say that I help keep CEOs out of jail by keeping their records all straight.
I am Stephanie Stiles, and I work for the Ann Arbor CIL Career Services. We help put people to work, and when people get a job, we literally ring the bell, and there's been a lot of bell ringing in 2011. So we're excited about that. If you'd like to be a mentor or be a part of speed interviewing, or business leadership network, or if you know the job seeker, please contact me.
Hi, I'm Matt Officer with Matt Consulting. We work with small businesses from an operations perspective to help you clean up how your business is functioning through looking at your workflow and throughput.
Hi, my name is Joseph Godoyanakis. I also work with Mac Consulting. And part of the reason that we started this company was because we wanted to reach out to the community here and help out the local businesses. And in order to do that, we need to get to know you guys a little bit more than the 10 seconds that you get to tell us what you do. So we'd like to invite you all out to lunch. We would like to get to know our competitors. We'd like to know who might be our clients out here and who might want to collaborate with us. So if you're interested, come drop off a business card. We'll arrange a time when we can grab lunch together and get to know each other, and we'll pick up the tab. Thank you.
There you go.
Evan Lauer with Charm Music. No Astro this week, just glad to be back after the holidays to do salmon, but not to do with Charm Music on South Industrial.
I'm Kyle Stooth. As of first of the year, I'm with the Whole Brain Group now. I'm the relationship manager and new media consultant. We build WordPress-based websites that are SEO friendly, mobile ready. We also do iPhone and iPad apps. And part of my role is going to be social media coaching and integration. So if you need help with any of those, please feel free.
Hi, I'm Kyle Bloom. I do search engine marketing at Ingenex.
Hello, I'm Greg Moore. I'm with Taz Networks. We're a Brighton-based IT service provider, web hosting, cloud computing, any of your IT needs. Feel free to stop by.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm the Interactive Marketing Coordinator at Ingenex, as well as Marketing Woman of LA2M, and also WXW, Women's Exchange of Washtenaw County. WXW is having an event coming up. It's January 20th. It's about personal branding. It's going to be really good. They have Michigan's only certified destination management specialist, so come and find out what that is. And also, I want to tell you, LA2M is going to start doing live tweeting questions. So if you can't come in, we will take live tweet questions at the @LA2M symbol. So get pumped.
Jeremy King. I'm a student at Ross, graduating in April with my MBA in marketing. So love to stay in town if anybody's looking.
Hi, my name is Ellie Nellen with the Carrington Concert House. It's an intimate concert venue here in Ann Arbor. We do various genres of music. We have a concert actually coming up on Thursday. Pete Sears Cortez, a really good drummer in the jazz drummer with his group, at 8 o'clock. See me if you want to find out some details about that. We're also available for rent for your office party or business meeting.
Hi, my name is John Porter. I enjoy coming here. I'm between positions. I might be talking about later on, and really enjoy what they do here. Thank you.
I'm Joanne Williams. I'm with Damian Farrell Design Group, architect, and they're cool architects, cool architecture. You can find them on Facebook. I'm also a blogger on AnnArbor.com.
I'm Bob Shannon. I've got my own CPA firm, and I specialize in helping small and medium-sized businesses keep in line with taxes as well as their accounting.
Hi, I'm Mike Nato with Affordable Computers here in town on South Industrial. We help people save money with their computer and service requirements.
I'm Jim Campbell from excitingproductions.com. We help businesses and organizations tell their unique stories in exciting web videos, and you can see how we've helped other people at excitingproductions.com.
Hi, I'm Jennifer DiGregorio. I'm the advertising manager at AnnArbor.com.
I'm Brian Phelps. I work for a user experience consulting called TechEd here in town.
I'm Roger Rail. I help people with their information needs and do a lot of the video. Detroit New Tech tonight, Ann Arbor New Tech next Tuesday. Ignite Ann Arbor is in a couple weeks. We need more speakers, so if you want to speak for 5 minutes, 20 slides, 15 seconds a slide, go to the Ignite Ann Arbor site and sign up.
Susan Harris, technical writer. Women's Exchange of Washington also has a book group starting tomorrow at Nicholas, and we read this is mine, is it? Yes. We read a wonderful book, A Whole New Mind by Daniel Pink.
Megan Rogers, I'm Development Associate at Habitat for Humanity here in Washington. We are just beginning after the holiday to bring up our volunteer program, so if anyone's interested in coming out and helping us build a house here locally for a local family, let me know. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Sharon McGrill. I'm the owner of the Betty Brigade. The Betty Brigade is a personal assistance and concierge company. We specialize in relocation and organizing, and we have a regular blog on AnnArbor.com by Judy DeFort. And we are getting a lot of really positive comments, so if you're interested in organizing tips, go to AnnArbor.com.
I'm Joshua Conrad. I'm a manager for Betty Brigade.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I actually just graduated from Michigan State just this past year with a bachelor's degree in advertising. I heard about LA2M from a good friend of mine. He just said it would be a good place to network and meet new people, so I'm here.
I'm Peter Clay. I'm Director of Business Development at Parrish Advertising and Design. We're very happy with our relationship with AnnArbor.com. People keep telling us that our under construction website that has been under construction for about, 8 months is really cool. So I invite you to go to parrish.com after you hang out on AnnArbor.com and entertain yourself and get a good idea of what it might be like to work with our organization.
Andy Chappelle, I'm a senior associate for Eiler Communications. This is my boss, Larry Eiler. I just recently returned to Ann Arbor after the last 4 years in Detroit, where I was managing editor for Kraner's Detroit Business. Before that, I spent a good chunk of my life working for the Ann Arbor News, the predecessor of AnnArbor.com.
Larry Eiler. I have a marketing and PR firm that's 23 years old, so older than many of you people are.
Not me, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, everybody. So Dee is not here, unfortunately. Dee Davey of Creative Ideas Marketing. She's normally standing next to me. So, but my name's Derek Maribon, CEO of Ingenix Digital Marketing, and I got to give a go state to the recent grad over there. I teach at Michigan State, the New Media Driver's License course and the advertising program. And what else? Hey, I'm glad to work with you too. You know, I think AnnArbor.com is a really nice organization, and it is a part of the community, and it's cool. And I think it's one of the best examples of a digital publication anywhere in the country. So we're lucky to have it here, and you know, let's give Matt another big round of applause. That was a really good job. It's 12:59. So next week is David Murray, and he does social media over at Regroup, and he's going to be talking about how brand loyalty is the new ROI, which I think will be very interesting. And yeah, the week after that, we may have someone from Google. I'm trying to get final confirmation on that. Talking about YouTube. So anyways, glad you're all here. Andy, good to meet you. I know where I know your name from and all the crane stuff and Ann Arbor News. So anyways, come back next week. Have a good one. See you all there. Thank you.